Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom from our studios at number 5, Owula Hansen Lane at Tesano. My name is Nanatufu Boate. Coming up. Pensioner bond holders brave rainy weather and resume picketing at Finance Ministry in demand for payment of coupons and principals.
So I would plead that tomorrow you don't come whilst we meet with you and see how best we can look at things. My father here is shaking his head, but as I speak to you, yesterday we collected, or we were given the coupons that were outstanding that we needed to pay, and then we are in talks with Bank of Ghana.
Also coming up, election battle brewing in Asin North constituency as parties vie for winning candidate ahead of by-elections.
If you pass down here, when you are going to Jankuntebo, you see it. The one that they have done in Kurano, it has broke. So our Asin North is lacking development. So we need someone who can at least help the development of Asin North.
Still to come, applicants seeking Ghana cards to register SIM cards frustrated with long queues at NIA offices following deactivation of their SIMs.
I'm missing. No calls. I can't make calls. Neither can I also receive calls. So like I'm lost.
My wife's number was what should I say, deactivated yesterday. So we decided to come and register for the Ghana card.
And later, 10 aspirants pick forms for NPP's presidential primaries with deadline for submissions set for June 24.
10 people have picked up their nomination forms in preparedness toward their participation in the presidential primaries.
Thank you for choosing us. Let's bring you the details of our stories now. Despite the rains, members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum on Thursday morning resumed picketing at the Finance Ministry, demanding payment of outstanding coupons and principals. The Pensioner Bondholders suspended a similar protest 2 weeks ago after receiving assurances from the government that all coupons will be paid while they engaged on a pathway to the payment of principals. However, weeks after the agreement, 5 coupons remain unpaid and a meeting has yet to be convened on the principals. The following report has more details.
In December 2022, the government introduced the Domestic Debt Exchange Program as part of measures to attain a debt-to-GDP ratio of 55% by 2028. This was part of broader conditionalities to secure a $3 billion balance of payment support from the IMF. The Domestic Debt Exchange Program was opposed by many local investors, including the Pensioner Bondholders Forum, a group comprising retiree investors in government securities. In February 2023, members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum began a series of protests that eventually led to government granting them an issuer's exemption from the Domestic Debt Exchange Program. Since this exemption, the pensioners have been back and forth with government over the payments of coupons and principals. Last month, the pensioners resorted to picketing again at the Finance Ministry to force government to pay the monies, and after assurances from government, they suspended the protest. 2 weeks after the suspension of the picketing, the retirees are back at it again, this time defying the rains. Dr. Edouard Niantwi is the convener for the Pensioner Bondholders Forum.
By God's grace, we were all having problems coming, but I said, let's go, let's start, God's willing. And by God's willing, the this thing has, the rains subsided and we were able to come. So we believe tomorrow too, God will be merciful to us. It will rain. Even if it rains, by the time we get here, it would have stopped and we will be able to do our picketing.
A major concern of the pensioner bondholders has been the attitude of the Finance Ministry towards their letters. Since February, when they began protesting, The only time they have received a response to a letter was when the ministry wrote to exempt the group from the domestic debt exchange program. During Thursday's picketing, however, a Deputy Minister of Finance, Asin North, met the protesters for a brief interaction where she pleaded for a suspension of the picketing while they work together for a solution.
I sincerely understand and appreciate where you are coming from. This has never happened where coupons are ready for payments or are due for payments and government has refused to pay. But currently, we all know the circumstances in which we find ourselves. And I'll plead with you, let's sit and clear the five, and then we'll see the way forward. So respectfully, I'll ask that...
Let's begin.
Yes.
You see, we have now planned our gathering here in a manner that will allow government some space to operate. We all know what is happening. So when we meet here today, we are meeting tomorrow. Monday, we won't come. Tuesday, we won't come. Wednesday, we won't come, to give you the opportunity to start paying me. If by Wednesday we have seen that you have started paying, we won't come on the Thursday. But if by Wednesday evening we haven't seen any alert system working, then Thursday we are coming here.
Let's meet tomorrow, discuss this and look at the long-term payment for the principal. So I would plead that tomorrow you don't come whilst we meet with you and see how best we can look at things. My father here is shaking his head. But as I speak to you, yesterday we collected, or we were given the coupons that were outstanding that we needed to pay. And then we are in talks with Bank of Ghana. And so I would ask that let's give ourselves tomorrow to have that meeting that you said you wrote to us, but we failed to respond. Let's give ourselves that opportunity to have that meeting. And then I believe that from Monday, you would see some payments being reflected for the coupons.
The Deputy Finance Minister, however, was unable to convince the protesters to suspend the picketing.
Well, we are coming tomorrow for that 1 hour. But within that 1 hour, we will meet with the ministry. We have asked for this meeting. They requested that they suggested that they will meet with us to decide on the payment of the principal. The first principal is 101 days in arrears now. Somebody's money that he is using for investment, you are keeping it. And we have said we will demand interest. That's why it's normal. If I give you money, you have to return it to me 100 days ago, and you haven't returned it, you must be prepared to pay interest, because I live on the investment income. So this is what you want us to go and talk about and decide what to do. We gave you last but 19th meet with us. You didn't. We wrote you again, gave you another week to meet with us. You didn't. We don't even hear from you. So now if the Deputy Minister has come and say they want to meet us tomorrow, we will come. We will come here, and then the few of us will go inside and meet with them, come back and tell our members what has happened. Then our plan is that we are meeting only on Thursday.
Bondholders, they have defied the unfavorable weather. A meeting to discuss principal payment. That was the reason why they suspended their picketing, because government promised that there was going to be meetings to discuss the principal payment while coupon payments were done on schedule. But that has not happened, and so they have resumed picketing. The Deputy Minister of Finance, Asin North, she was here to interact with them. She tried to talk them out of the protests, but they maintain that until government begins payments of the 5 outstanding coupons and concrete measures taken to settle the outstanding principals, they'll continue to come here. So they have scheduled to come here again tomorrow. Meanwhile, there's a meeting that
'27, the National Democratic Congress maintains James Jachikwason is their best bet, while on the MPP side, they believe a formidable candidate will emerge to battle it out with James Jachikwason. Ahead of the by-election, Central Regional Correspondent Calvin Stette takes a look at the constituency and issues that are likely to influence voters' decision.
This is the Asin North constituency in the Central Region, but I am currently here at Asin Breku, the district capital of the region. Ahead of the by-elections, we are here to gauge the atmosphere and speak to the political heads, the NDC and the MPP, residents and voters. For residents, who are the major stakeholders and the final decider over who leads the constituency, they shed light on some of the challenges confronting the constituency and what can be done. Are you happy with the state of your roads?
No, because they started it almost getting to 8 years. But still now, they haven't. If you pass down here, when you are going to Dankontebo, you see it. The one that they have done is it has broke. So Asin North is lacking development. So we need someone who can at least help.
I would say it's a general problem because looking at the constituency, there are no factories. There are no big works for us to be doing. Our mainly work that we do is farming. And I would say the farming business is also not bad because now a bag of cocoa is heading towards 800 Ghana City. So if you are here and then you are a farmer, at least you also get something. But we also urge the government. Isn't the roads alone they should come and do? At least creating factories and then jobs for the youth to do will also be an opportunity for us, being it a by-election coming on.
It's toilets. SCMI. Was it 2.6 billion? Elipanim, Nkotenanim. You really, wow, Queen, the Queen, you really, not having food. That woman show, teach anybody about 9 fine.
So you'll be a sabi or fuck constituency munina, obu say, menko bidi mudia, but I can't bonidi kitabi pa, and yes, major road the kukumase, there be but a crooner your team. Once we buy 100 way crooner, but be any higher until you can't dear. I can't find your subsabi kitabi pa.
Ahead of the by-elections, supporters of both parties are hoping that their candidate will emerge victorious.
I can say that the ground is very fertile for the new patriotic party. All things are set and done. Currently, with even, let's say, considering only the projects of Honorable Charles Opoku, I can say we are rest assured of getting back the seat. How much more we add in the projects of the entire government or the entire party. I think everything is solidified. We can be rest assured that we are getting the seat 100%. Not just being victorious, but the margin is going to be great.
I think he has a very big vision, and then whatever God has planted in him, he wants the constituents of Asin North to have a feel of it. And we've seen the man, we've worked with him, and we know what he can do. The people's choice. He's there for the young, the adult, the old, and everyone.
We know all that has happened to get us this by-election, and we are also very confident that anybody the NDC places to contest in this by-election is going to win the seat for the party again.
Ye jaima tinemufo Asin North ye yakukudurofo ye ntese baby omokoto aba na omokoji 2 cities 3 cities omokoji emo 1 cap no Asin North say na me ya adom na say ye kwakoto aba na. This by-election, we will show them Pepe. We will show them the exit card.
The blame game over who has done what developmental projects in the constituency rages on between party executives of the NDC and the MPP. Both executives shed light on the various projects going into the by-elections.
We have one stretch from Camp Akonfede to Apoli, almost 25 kilometers. Which is now under construction under MPP government, and we have the town roads break here, which the gutters has been constructed already, and the contractor is is doing well to make sure that the road will be done on time for us to also have something to talk about. Aside that, we have Asempaneye to Kushiao Road, which is also under construction, and as we speak, the contractor is on site making sure he is doing well. There is one that we have even finished already, that is on the Ningo stretch. Has been able to done all this.
The Agenda 111 here, it is still ongoing. It's not because of the by-election that we are doing this Agenda 111. MPP has done an AstroTurf, and maybe by next week they will finish the first phase.
Educational project that he has personally put up for the people of Asin. We had a Mahindra. So many years without being serviced, but when he came, he did that for for get say
garden for Baha. Ama yekosi ahemfo my 3 places nana yenya yekoshe ya meme kan bi yekoshe ye anche na omode sa court ichi ya omodo again omoyi ni fiwe nti sa the friends sika samo e ba nyina na obesi MC so papa edwene Asin mpotemu ha or the operation lighting Asin this if you bob e bo sisi ya me kase game je kwesi na de ba ne onye dede light ko ba bia ukọ Asina reliable atentan ne na nipa reshaping of road. Why yeah?
The Liberal Party of Ghana, led by Kofi Apalu, says they have what it takes to snatch the seat from the NDC and the MPP in the impending Asin North by-elections.
So we are going to use as a test case going into the 2024 elections. So we are serious about what we are going to do here, and we are of the belief that we're going to win the seat.
Do you think your candidates stand a chance?
We will win the seat. We will win this by-election. We are going to control this seat in Parliament because we know the people are yearning for that change, and we are bringing that change.
The two make the slot to face up with in Parliament.
Analysis with all the competitors, I stand tall. I can tell you for sure that yes, whoever stands before me, I'm going to win. Development is teamwork. It's a collective job. No one can do it alone. And yes, I can tell you that I am capable of bringing development. Why am I saying that? See, I can give you a track record of a lot of things I've done to change lives. Let's leave that aside. Going forward, what can we do? We have a lot of things we are putting together.
Asin not to develop. If you want jobs to be in Asin, if you want to see a real developmental things in Asin North, if you want to see the growth of the youth and Asin North becoming the attraction of the whole country and the world at large, then look no further than Freeman.
Apart from farming and petty trading here in Asin Breku, one major source on daily basis. The Okada riders, however, are hoping that the by-election fix their road.
ninchiso ni nyina ededem a ye ni yawo ba se nyame adom na kwan ni toma kwan ye obeba abobo ye ko ni yemuni o mo kwan ni ye muni o mo jo musuro ba election ye titibi se ba kwan de number 1 kuma wudi ye hu bi ye gu ya ma ade echi ye ba bia woni ntua se ye gu kra obekọ ni ye gu na ye kama ye to aba ni we ya na esesa ko ye no de e ka ho
4 to 5 years and I'm going to find you as a but you share home cana and said I go through and family by election by any year say a crown bet me up boy and on my day or my child goes to the army.
One question persons around here keep asking is that would there be legal implications should James Jachikwesin win the election to represent the constituency again? Some party people shed light.
National Democratic Party, I would advise them not to cause more issues, to save their image and to save the country from going for a lot of issues up and down. I think it's going to be better they change their candidate.
You know, perjury and all those things are not part of us, you know. So the moment you know the truth and you lie, I mean, we don't need to take nobody in this world will accept that. So it's unfortunate that it has happened to him, but I mean, you could have waited.
There has been a precedence, and then I think bringing him on board wouldn't be a good advice to them as a party. The little that we've known, and then the precedence of Honorable Adamusa Kandi, and we know it wouldn't be a best decision for them to present him as their candidates.
I can confidently tell you that he brought documents indicating he was prepared to renounce his citizenship as a Canadian. I don't want to preempt, but let the court take decision. And I know and confidently say that he is the person that will be representing the party in Asin North, and surely he will win the seat for us.
One thing that plays key role in development and elections is infrastructure. So the by-election, similar is happening here, but there's divided opinion on whether the roads will play a key role in determining who will win the by-elections.
Well, it was not totally abandoned. The road is a very long stretch, that is, I think, 13.5 kilometers. It starts from here to a very close, a nearby village known as Asin North. And because of funds, the contractor started in the year 2020, but could not finish on time. The work has been progressing very slowly because of lack of funds. You can see that now the contractors are gathering momentum and they are working very fast.
So it's not that it has been abandoned?
No, it wasn't abandoned. If you can see from your back, there are machines there. If you go to their side, there were machines there. For them, they were also working on the village road. They were doing some covert and some bridges.
This road, they have been cut solid 5 times short at Breku here since 2020 during the election time. Afterwards, nothing has been done. Nothing has been done. And today, if you are seeing this, you shouldn't be surprised. It is because of the by-election, that is why they have called the contractor to come and work on the site. But we should give the glory to Honorable James Jachikwesin, because if it is not Honorable James Jachikwesin, the road will be, the contractor will not come to the site.
The choice over who leads Asin North constituency lies with constituents. On June 27, Asin North constituency goes to the poll. In the end, one person will lead the constituency. Carl Estete, Citi News, Asin North.
10 persons have so far picked forms to contest the presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party, NPP. They have up to June 24 to fill the forms and submit to the Elections Committee. This will pave way for the Special Delegates Conference in August this year to whittle down the numbers to 5. There is more in the following report.
On Thursday, 2 more flag bearer hopefuls picked their forms to push the number of aspirants who have done so to 10. The 2 are Kennedy Ohene-Agyapong and Joe Garte. The first to do so on Thursday was the campaign team of Member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Ohene-Agyapong. His campaign manager, Kwame Owusu, led the delegation. He spoke.
Honorable Ken is honest in terms of his dealing with the country and the business of life. Honorable Ken is patriotic, that he will die for Ghana. He has demonstrated that. I saw it is what people will come in and say that he's non-conformist. Of course he's non-conformist because he stands for the ordinary people, and ordinary people are not conformists.
How would this play into his chances?
Very easy. That is what people like. People want somebody who is disciplined. Because there's too many discipline in this country.
The next to do so was a team of former Attorney General and a Member of Parliament for Isikado Ketan constituency, Joe Garte. For them, their aspirant stands tall compared to the others.
Breaking the 8 is possible, but who will drive us through a successful journey? We need somebody who is competent. We need somebody when we are benching Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. He will be able to stand the test of time and even do better than what we are doing today. Assessing all the candidates, Joe Garte stands tall. And I think he will be the person who will lead us to the promised land. He's coming as the voice of the voiceless. He's coming to speak on behalf of the vulnerables of Ghana. And he's representing the youth of this country.
The other 8 picked the nomination between last week Friday and Wednesday. Wachi Ejakon, Dr. Kofi Konedu Epreku, Kwabna Eje Agyapong and Francis Adenimo picked on Friday. Dr. Owusu Afriye picked on Monday, while Dr. Mamoudou Bawumia and Kojo Opoku picked on Tuesday. Alan Kojo Shamatin, on the other hand, picked on Wednesday. The interesting observation, however, is that aside Kojo Opoku, who picked in person, all the others were represented either by their campaign team members or groups who supported their cause. In some instances, the claims were that the 50,000 cause was footed by the groups. Dr. Owusu Afriye Akutu's form was picked and paid by some farmers across the country, while that of Alan Shamatin was picked and paid by some market queens. That of Wachi Ejakon, Dr. Epreku, Kwabna Eje Agyapong, Dr. Bawumia, Kennedy Agyapong, Francis Adenimo and Joe Garte was picked by members of their campaign teams. The nominations are, however, open until June 24, when the forms are to be submitted. Director of Elections for the party, Evans Nimako, explained to Citi News what to expect between now and the vetting.
So far, 10 people have picked up their nomination forms in preparedness toward their participation in the presidential primaries. Respective candidates will need 10 people per region to endorse their nomination and then return it to the committee on or before 24th of this month. The vetting will be between 26th and 30th, after which the committee will come out with its report. It is expected that after the vetting, if there are more than 5 people in the race, the party will therefore have to conduct special electoral college. It's been slated for August this year, and when we are done, in November 4, 2023 of this year, we will do the real primaries.
But what does this mean for campaign activities?
The party expects all leading members to bear in mind that at the end of the exercise, we will go out together to campaign, and therefore they must be mindful of their pronouncement. Officers who are not directly involved in the exercise of conducting the elections, I don't see why we should ban them from campaigning for their preferred candidate. In any case, these are all members of the party. They're in-house, and they've already consulted, and they keep on consulting.
You're watching the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Still to come. Organized Labour issues a 2-week ultimatum to government and Sanan Asogli Ghana Limited, demanding the reinstatement of 3 of their local union leaders.
This is Esther, an 11-year-old girl who finds herself living with an abusive father.
There is always another way. Protect the child.
Who can save me from this physical abuse?
There is always another way. Protect the child.
Every child deserves to be treated with love, respect, and dignity. Smacking, slapping, spanking children with a hand or with an element such as a whip, stick, belt, shoe, wooden spoon, etc. is physical abuse. It can also involve, for pinching, burning, scalding a child. Physical abuse destroys the confidence and self-esteem of children.
I feel safe and loved.
Let's be Ghanaians against child abuse. Say no to physical abuse. Be a GAPA.
A forest is made up of trees of various kinds. A great country like ours must be endowed with many trees. Last year was successful. Be part of this year's campaign on the 9th of June in planting 10 million tree seedlings nationwide under the theme Our Forest, Our Health. Seedlings will be made available at the Forestry Commission and other designated places nationwide. Let us preserve our forests. Green Ghana. Let's go planting. This campaign is proudly brought to you by the Commission and supported by the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program, Ghana Forest Investment Program, Forest
You're welcome back. Let's bring you some more stories. The Ghana Revenue Authority's Domestic VAT Compliance Task Force has intensified its enforcement efforts in the Ashaiman Township, where some shops were raided and essential record documents confiscated on Thursday. Fred Duo joined the task force and has more in the following report.
According to the Ghana Revenue Authority, this operation is a crucial step to ensure compliance with tax laws and boost the government's revenues. By the end of the day's exercise, 6 shop managers were arrested, including 2 Chinese. The managers of Eagle Ventures, Happy Store, and New World Enterprises were apprehended at Ashaman, while 2 Chinese were arrested in Tema, and the shop manager of Tika Mall, dealers in building materials, for failing to issue VAT invoices to customers.
On this date, so items were purchased from the business. You fail to issue VAT invoice in accordance with Section 41 of the VAT Act and then paragraph 21 of the LI 2243. If these receipts, number 2, will hand you over to the police. They will take the case from there. That's why we are here. So we want all these receipts. Give them to us. All those that you have issued, you should go to the office.
The Accra Area Enforcement Coordinator, Joseph Annan, addressed the press.
We went to Eagle Ventures at Ashiaman, New World Enterprise, Ashiaman, then Happy Store, Ashiaman. They were all not issuing the VAT invoice. And they are registered, and yet they are not issuing the VAT invoice. So we have arrested them. They are in our vehicle. We are taking them to our office, and the CID, who is attached to the GRA, will take their statement and then begin with the process. Then from Ashama, we went to Tema, and then we picked up Jiajele supermarket, and then Jiahua supermarket, and then Tika Mall. The first two, the name will tell. They are Chinese businesses. They are restaurants, supermarkets. So they are also not issuing the invoice, and we have arrested them. We are going to take their statement, and then the rest of the process will continue. Yes.
Is there any updates on the previous ones that we've done, like 3 weeks ago, the ones that we did?
Yes, we have invited some of them to the office. At least the first 2 weeks, we have done the preemptive assessments. We're giving them their bills, and we've asked them to pay immediately. And give it the CID, because it's all part of the docket.
The authority says they are going after businesses that have registered on their VAT platforms but have failed to issue VAT invoices to customers.
There's a threshold to registration. Once you qualify to register, that is, if you are doing 200,000 Ghana cedis for a whole year, then you qualify to register. So if we come in there and you are not issuing the VAT invoice, and we pick you up, we come to the office, we assess you. Then we will know whether you qualify or not. Because when you come back, surprisingly, none of them have come to us that they don't qualify, and we have picked them up. We also look at where we go to before we look at the size of the business and all that before we even go in to do the test purchase. If you are with me, we've been to a few places and we've done a U-turn because I found a place to be too small. You understand? So and you see, when you are not registered and we pick you up, then your penalties are more than the one who is registered and not. Because then that audit takes you back to when you were supposed to have registered and you failed to do so. You understand? So if you were to have registered to 2021 and you failed to do that, and we get you today, we'll go back to 2021 when you qualified to have registered and you did not. You understand? And if there are any interest or penalties that need to be applied, it will be applied on that huge amount that is coming from the back years.
Organized Labour has issued a 2-week ultimatum to government and Sunan Asogli Ghana Limited, demanding the reinstatement of 3 of their local union leaders whose appointments have allegedly been terminated. Now, following a closed-door meeting with the Minister of Labour Relations, Ignatius Bafuawa, Organized Labour says it is steadfast in their demands and will not relent in their pursuits of justice. The following report has more.
For Organized Labour, the deadline of June 26, 2023 given to Sona Asogli Power Limited to reinstate their dismissed local union leaders must be heeded to. According to Organized Labour, efforts to resolve the situation and secure the reinstatement of the workers have so far been unsuccessful. Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Dr. Yao Ban, says they are prepared to take their next line of action if their demands are not met within the ultimatum given.
The idea is that if the Ghana Man Workers Union, you will not listen to them. They brought it to TUC. You don't want to listen. We are now scaling the thing up to the entire Organized Labour. And this message is not going only to management of Sunan Asogli. It is also going to the President of Ghana and his government. They better listen to Organized Labour. Otherwise, they know what will happen.